Hello, Mr. Barry's geometry class. I'm looking at the quiz 8-1, Pythagorean theorem and special right triangles. And I'm going to be reading through this, just giving you some guidance, some clarification, especially as before you take the test. You're going to want to pause this as you go through it, and hopefully everything turns out well for you. Remember, for the Pythagorean theorem, we are considering for right triangles, when we have side a squared plus side b squared, that's going to equal side c squared, right? And we have to do some algebraic magic if we know c and a and not know b. And likewise, if we know b and c and we don't know a. So we're going to have to, figure those out algebraically. Remember which side is which. C is going to be always across from the right angle. That's going to be your C side, if you will. The shortest is going to be the A, the shortest leg. Legs are right off of the 90-degree angle, so the shortest leg is going to be A. The next, the longer one is going to be B. Okay? So with that in mind, you're going to take a look at this. So you're going to have a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Call c squared x squared. Okay, so it should be 16 squared plus 19 squared equals x squared for number one. Number two, you would have x squared plus 12 squared equals 14 squared, and you're going to solve for x. Square those and just isolate the variable, get x by itself on one side using your algebraic magic. Number three, I'm going to have 9.2 squared plus x squared equals 16.5 squared. And once again, algebra is going to uncover that, whatever that x squared is. For number four, this one is 33. This one is going to be half of 30. So whatever half of 30 is squared plus 33 squared equals c squared, which these are going to be the same, which would be your x squared. For number five, you have a couple things that you have to do here. You have to first find out what this is, if we want to find what that what that is right there, what that x is. So I'm going to take, this is my a squared, and I know a c squared. So a squared plus, we don't know this, we'll call it b squared, equals 25 squared. Okay, so 16 squared plus b squared equals 25 squared. Solve for b. Once you find out what b is, you're going to take x squared plus that answer from your last problem, b squared, equals 22 squared, and then just solve for x. Number six, don't worry about this line. I kind of drew it going the wrong way, so I corrected it here. In Fayetteville, the library is 3 miles due west of the post office. So you have the post office, you have the library, go west 3 miles. And the zoo is 5 miles north of the library, so 5 miles north, boom. They want to know the distance from the post office to the zoo, P-O to the Z. So you're just going to do 3 squared plus 5 squared equals c squared. We don't know what c is in this one. Okay, that's going to be the distance from the post office to the zoo. Remember, all of these are rounding to the nearest tenth in your directions. So hopefully you're doing that. I laid out number 7, but we don't have to do 7, so forget 7. Number 8, a 15.6-inch laptop is featured in a sales ad for $7.99. The distance is the diagonal distance from across the screen. So know that when you think you're buying a huge TV, that's the diagonal too. They just want to make it sound bigger. So if the screen measures 7.8 inches in height, what is the width of the screen? So you're going to take, this is going to be your A, this is your B, and this is your C, right? So 7.8 squared plus B squared equals 15.6 squared. And then you're going to want to take 15.6 squared minus 7.8 squared. That's going to give you your b squared, and then take the square root of that. And you'll get your answer for number 8. When you're looking at number 9 through 12, given the side lengths, determine whether the triangle is acute, right, obtuse, or not a triangle. And remember, here we go. If you're taking the two shorter sides, you add them up, squaring them, add them up, and if that's greater than the third side squared, it's a cube. If you take the two shorter sides, you square them and add them up, and if it's equal to the longer one squared, you have what's called the right triangle, because a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Gone through that. And then this one, if you take the shorter and the two shorter ones, square them and add them together, if that is less than the longest side that's listed there, then you have an obtuse triangle. Now, first of all, you got to do this. Do this first. Take a look at your shorter sides. If you add them up and they are less than the longer side, not a triangle. So you just stop right there. Not a triangle. Okay? I believe one of these is not a triangle. Okay? So one of these is not a triangle. So you just go through and utilize this information to answer your 9, 10, 11, and 12. Remember, one of them is going to be not a triangle. And good luck with this test.